So yesterday, Meet Kevin did an illegal copyright strike on my video, which took down the video that showed the DUI arrest of Meet Kevin. It was the body cam footage of an officer. Now, I briefly talked about this yesterday. In this video, I'm going to go into great detail, breaking down exactly what happened and talking about my plans for the future and how I plan to continue fighting this illegal copyright strike. So if you don't know, YouTube has several features to try and protect creators from having their content stolen. Now, one way to do that is a privacy claim. If someone posts something about where you live or whatnot, they can file a privacy claim and get your video taken down for that. There's also a copyright claim. Now, a copyright claim is where, let's say for example, I went to actual Meet Kevin's channel and I took one of his videos and then I re-uploaded it in its entirely on my channel. That would be a copyright issue, right? He could claim that video and have that video taken down because basically I stole his content. Now, he issued a copyright claim on my DUI body cam video. Now, that video does not contain any footage that he owns, not even 1 second of footage that he owns. All of the footage comes from the body cam of the officer that made the arrest, okay? None of the footage comes from Meet Kevin. It all comes from the officer, the Tampa police officer that pulled Meet Kevin over for going through a red light and then eventually made a DUI arrest on Meet Kevin. He has no control. He has no authority over that footage at all. And it's completely inappropriate for him to make a copyright claim on footage that he does not own at all. Again, this was not a privacy claim. He's not saying, I showed something that I shouldn't have. There's nothing in the video. And one thing to point out is the Tampa PD, when they send out, I got this video from Tampa PD, and anyone can get it. It's completely free access. It's public domain. Anyone can get the footage. But before they release it to you, they will actually censor out any information. Because when a police officer pulls someone over, they ask for their driver's license. So obviously the Tampa PD, they will cover up the driver's license. So all of the private information is not shown, right? So I didn't get any access to that. All of that information was already covered up in the video that I showed, but I went a step further and actually did more things. I actually covered up the driver's license, or not the driver's license, the driver's plate on the car. I covered that up, even though that was a rental car. That wasn't even Kevin's car. So I didn't actually need to do that, but I went a step further and covered that up so that wasn't shown as well. So there was nothing private in the information. He did not make a privacy claim. He made a copyright claim claiming that he owned the footage. That is 100% inaccurate. 100%. He does not own anything in that footage at all. Now, when he filed a copyright claim, a couple things happened. First off, I got a copyright strike on my channel. If you don't know how that works, if you get 3 strikes on your channel within a certain period of time, I believe it's 3 months, your channel will go away. It will disappear. YouTube will destroy it. It gets wiped out, right? 1 strike, which is what I currently have right now, is not really that much of an issue. If you get 2, I think you lose live streaming features and other stuff. You lose 3, your channel goes away. So as of right now, I have 1 strike on my channel, and YouTube tells you that your content is claimed and it can no longer be seen by people. So it gets pulled off the internet. If you go to the video, it just gives you a black screen now. It says that this content was taken down from a copyright by Meet Kevin, or Kevin Pathrath, actually. And what YouTube does, it gives you a couple options. So the first option it gives you is to file a counterclaim, which I have since done. So I filed a counterclaim against Meet Kevin, and I expressed in it, it gets sent to YouTube, and it says exactly, my opinion. It tells them that Meet Kevin does not own any of this footage. It says that I got this footage from the Tampa PD. It is public domain. Anyone can get it. And I explain all this, that Meet Kevin should not be allowed to issue a copyright strike for this video. Now, as of right now, as of filming this video, it says counter notification awaiting review. So at YouTube, someone has to review it. They have to see if I actually, in their opinion, if I actually have a case, if the video should not have been taken down. And if they think that's the case, they will send the countersuit, the counter claim to Kevin Pathrath. And then he has 2 options. He can either drop his claim, which would allow the video to come back up, or he can pursue legal action. He can take this further and actually take this to the court system. I don't know if he's actually going to go that route, but that is a possible issue that can happen if he decides to continue to fight this issue. Now, the second thing that actually happens is that YouTube will actually give you the email of the person that filed a claim against your video, right? And it will also actually tell you if it was an automatic claim or if it was actually done by an individual. So sometimes Large companies will do automatic claims if you post like a song or a piece of a movie from a big studio, right? They actually have like a bot system that will actually find that on YouTube, and it will be an automatic claim. Now, YouTube specifically tells me that this was done by a person. It was done by Kevin Pathrath, or Meet Kevin, right? It specifically tells me that, and it gives me the email of him so that I can contact him, right? So it gives you two options. You can file a counterclaim, which I did, and you're also able to contact the individual who filed a claim against you. Now, I have since done that. I talked about that on the live stream as well. I will show you the email that I actually sent him, right? I wrote this out myself. I thought about it long and hard. I didn't say anything mean. I just put out what, in my opinion, was completely true, and I sent this email to the email that YouTube gave me. I'll show you on the screen now. So it says, earlier today, you filed a false copyright claim against my video. Meet Kevin DUI arrest body cam footage. There is no copyrighted footage in said video. You are not the officer who made the arrest. You are not the chief of police for the city of Tampa. You are not the governor of Florida or any state, thank God. You have no jurisdiction over said footage, and claiming otherwise to take down the video violates YouTube's policies. On top of being against YouTube's policies, you are also violating U.S. laws as well. 17 U.S. Code 506, Criminal Offense Section C, Fraudulent Copyright Notice. Any person with fraudulent intent places on any article a notice of copyright or words of the same purport that such person knows to be false, or who, with fraudulent intent, publicly distributes or imports for public distribution any article bearing such notice or words that such person knows to be false, shall be fined not more than $2,500. For someone who has a history of being sued multiple times, I would think that you would know that what you are doing is both legally wrong and immoral. I would ask that you release the claim on my video immediately. I do not back down to bullies and will do everything within my power legally to make sure that my voice on the internet is not squashed between the boot of a megalomaniac multimillionaire. I will pursue this as far as it needs to go. The moral of this story is that you should own up to your mistakes and move on. Making every attempt to hide your dirty laundry by making illegal power plays will ultimately lead to nowhere. Your attempt to censor public information has only led to a Streisand effect, and further attempts will only draw more attention to it. For once in your life, Kevin, do the right thing and release the copyright strike. So that's the email that I sent to him last night. Since sending that, I have not received anything back from him, but I briefly mentioned the Streisand effect in that video, or in that email. Now, if you don't know what the Streisand effect is, basically Barbra Streisand, she owned a house on the California coast in the early 2000s, and the weather service, or I think the erosion service for the California coast, took a bunch of photos, because her house was on a cliff, and they took photos of the cliffs to show the erosion over time. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that her house showed up in a photo, so she filed a bunch of lawsuits to have that photo taken down. And what ultimately happened is that thousands, if not millions of more people became aware of what her house looked like and where exactly it was, because she filed all these lawsuits, because she pursued the issue. The same thing is happening with Meet Kevin. Now, many people have begun to share this video as well, that most likely never would have shared the video in the first place if Meet Kevin hadn't done the illegal copyright strike. So Meet Kevin has created a Streisand effect on this DUI video. Now, my plans going forward are a couple things. First off, Meet Kevin has 10 days to respond to the counterclaim that I issued from YouTube, right? He has 10 days. And I will give him the 10 days to respond to that. Now, in those 10 days, he can release the footage and the video will come back up if that happens. Now, within those 10 days, if he doesn't do that, I will pursue this further. The first thing I will do is to reach out to pretty much every big YouTuber out there, any news organization, any organization that wants to hear about this at all. Because what is happening is you have, like I said in the email, a multimillionaire megalomaniac who believes that he can use his power and influence to shut down what is public information. He doesn't want bad information, his dirty laundry. He's the one that decided to drive through the red light, because he admits that in the video, he drove through a red light, right? And that eventually led to DUI arrest. He did all that, right? I didn't do any of that. I posted what was public information. I thought long and hard of it. I researched it, and everything I did was completely legal. So he should not have taken down that video. If he does not allow it to come back up, I guarantee you, every large YouTuber, every news organization, whatever I can do, I will make sure that these people know about this story and know that what he is doing is completely wrong and he should not be doing this. Meet Kevin started out, he grew his channel, and now he has become the villain. He is the villain of YouTube, and he should not be doing this at all. Now, finally, if I have to pursue this legally, I will, right? If I have to get a lawyer, that is something I will do. I do not like internet bullies who try and take away my rights. I'm allowed to post public information. That is not your content at all. It's completely inappropriate for you to do what you did, Meet Kevin. So I will pursue this legally if I need to. Now, hopefully it will not come to that. Hopefully he will release the claim and I can just bring the video up on its own. If I need to pursue a lawyer, I will, right? People have asked, are you going to do a GoFundMe? As of right now, there is no lawsuit, so I'm not going to do that right now. I don't want to pretend like I need money because I don't know that's the issue that's going to arise at this point. Now, if there is ever a point where it does become a legal case, that is something I may do, right? I hope it does not get to the point where it needs to be a legal case, because this is obviously, in my opinion, an open and shut case. I posted public information anyone can get. He claimed that basically that was his video, and it's not. He does not own that. He is not the officer that made the arrest. He is not the one that was wearing the body cam camera. He has no right to that footage, so he shouldn't have done that. But to Meet Kevin, and I know Meet Kevin is going to watch this video because Meet Kevin watches every video that people make about him. He's a narcissist. To Meet Kevin, you need to do the right thing and release the video, okay? You did something wrong, and it's out there now. You need to own it, grow up, and act like an adult. Now, I know that's very hard for you, but that's something you're going to have to try and do. So that's what I'm going to do going forward. As of right now, like I said, YouTube is still reviewing the whole situation. They will get back to me. I have not heard back from the email I sent to Meet Kevin as well. But hopefully this can be resolved soon and without any legal actions. So yeah, leave your comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can legally. Yeah, and hopefully we can get Meet Kevin to start acting like an adult. I know, probably not going to happen, but hopefully.